Computer. Okay, everyone, hello. Welcome to Planetary Gig Talk Live. I'm Jefferson Glassy, your host. I'm the chief spiritual dude of the Planetary Gig Society, whose mission is making connections through music with the intention of bringing peace. And I'm very excited today. This is a great opportunity to learn a lot for me because we have three amazing women who can tell us some things that I think a lot of us don't know about the moon dance and other such things. And I will explain a little bit about how we kind of came to this and how we um, came to this point and why we're having this discussion. Um, and I will, let's see. Let's see. Let's see, Carol, if you can go off screen, that'd be great. You just hit stop video there? I think so. Okay. That's the way these Zoom things work. People come and it's like coming into a cocktail party or something. Um, so first, I have the great pleasure and honor to introduce Abuela Adriana Ocelot, who is, I believe you're in Brazil now. Are you in Rio de Janeiro?
Yeah, I'm in Brazil now, not in Rio, in the capital. I'm in Petrópolis, up on the mountains, about 2 hours from Rio. Very beautiful place, a lot of native forest, rocky mountains, and spring water. Really beautiful nature here close to Rio. Here I am, very happy to be here in this little part of the world.
Yes, thank you so much. And you've been involved in Sundance and Moon Dance for a long time, my
Yeah.
understanding.
Yeah. Well, I like to introduce myself first as just being realistic. I'm just a normal, common woman dealing with the challenges of living in this female body in this patriarchal society, but very optimistic about the new possibilities of reinventing the way that we are living in this planet. And in this way, I've made a long time ago, about 30 years now, a commitment to spirituality and especially to the native ways of living spirituality on common life. And that's some of the things that I really appreciate about all the wisdom that native people from America keep, because spirituality is not something magical or magnifical. It's just common way of how you live your life. So I've been dedicating my life to these ways, the native ways, and I walk this path. I'm a sun dancer, has been 14 years. I'm a moon dancer for 16 years now. I lead Vision Quest and Moon Dance here in Brazil, and I participate in ceremony with the native people from the forest, the ayahuasca people from Amazon, and very connected to the sacred wisdom of the native people as a way of life first, and committed my life to it, and got to this point of having walked so far and received medicine that I can now share. I've been sharing with people. So, to the ones that want to go beyond the shamanic, fashionable thing of these days, want to really follow this path and really connect and really learn and anchor all this wisdom in their lives. So I sustain altars of native ceremonies for those that really want to walk this path. So that's what I've been dedicating my life and Besides that, a mother of three kids and taking care of a big garden, medicinal plants, and planting more and more the food I eat. I live in a little ranch and very connected to, the sacredness of a common life. I really appreciate having my tea at night in the garden and saying good night to the elements, and enjoying being in this material life and experiencing spirituality in this very common way.
Thank you
So
so
it's a pleasure being here and sharing some of it with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Um,
you.
Now I would like to also interview my dear friend Carol, Carol Santosha. I met her husband Sandro Shankara in India in 2020, and we've done a number of projects together. And I went at his request to the Amazon in November with a tribe, and we did ceremonies. And I met Carol. And part of the whole reason that this is connected is because we had a number of conversations, two conversations, after I learned about the When the Drummers Were Women book by Layne Redmond that my friend Linda Helms told me about. And I met some of these amazing women in the women's frame drum community here. And like Barbara Gale and Krista Holland, Miranda Rondeau. And it's such a fabulous, vibrant community that I believe holds a lot of power for how we can move forward into the future, musically, but, in a very profound way. And when I was talking with Carol, um, when we were there, I, we were talking about frame drums, and she didn't really use that term, frame drums. And she showed me her drum. I said, "Well, that's like a frame drum." And then we talked about that, and then she told me about the moon dance, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, what is this? We really would like to connect." And Carol came to our last Planetary Gig Talk Live on women's frame drumming and talked a little bit about the moon dance, and I just thought it would be great to learn more about what it is. And I know it's about rhythm, and that's one of the key things about it. But Carol, thank you so much for doing this. Thank you for also introducing us to Adriana. And how are you? It's so great to see you.
So I'm very thankful to be here with you all, and especially with my abuela, because um, she is really teaching me this simple way of living the everyday spiritual life. And I think to me it's not easy because, yeah, I am a mother and I am 36 years old. So sometimes I think I still learning about the rhythm, the real rhythm of things, because when I was teenager, I was with cell phones, and so this path is also to learn how to live this in this new and everyday more technological world. So it's challenging, and I'm still here because to me, and to educate my kid, which is a small son of moon dance too. She's a moon dancer since she was at the ballet. And now to me, it's, I think, moon dance, it is to build this space to her so that she can be technological. Of course, she will be, she is, but also to not forget, as I forgot, the smell of the earth, the smell of the plants. And so I think my main goal to be a medicine woman, it is to be able of remembering this, which my abuela of blood passed away, I think 2 months ago. And she was a woman of the earth with the plants. And in the day I learned that I was same as her, she passed away. So I think it's now to me to teach Luna and the kids that the nature is our main teacher. So the drums to me are also a way of remembering this rhythm, this natural rhythm. So thanks to be here with all you, and the moon dancers of Brazil are here too, and Australia. So to me, it's something that I never did, to be with another moon dancers. So thank you. It's very good to be here.
Yeah, thank you. And then I'd like to also introduce Laura Sterling. And I know Laura through our good friend Lionel Cole. And just sort of because I was talking with Lionel about some of these things and going to the Amazon and all this and the moon dance. And it turns out, Laura, who you live in Australia, did your first moon dance in Chile or what? So that's just recently, but you've done a moon dance now.
Absolutely, that's correct, Jefferson. So just firstly, just to follow cultural protocols on my end, as an Aboriginal woman and as an Indigenous woman of these lands, I must first and foremost always acknowledge the land that I'm on. And the land that I'm coming to you all on today is Bidjigal and Gadigal land, which is a place where most of you will probably know it as Sydney, but traditionally it is Bidjigal and Gadigal. And as always, I pay all my respects to the traditional custodians of this land, to their ancestors. And I really encourage and welcome every single human, Indigenous or non-Indigenous, to learn how to return back to our traditional ways and back to our spiritual ways, so that we can all become custodianships and return to the way to help the rivers, the seas, the oceans, the lakes, the mountains and the bushlands, because this always was and this always will be Aboriginal land. So thank you, Jefferson, for having me here. And you are right, it was really interesting how it came about. I believe you and Lionel were sitting on your front porch having a drink. You were sharing, as you said, sharing your story about Brazil. And then my phone rang and the message was, can you quickly tell Jefferson what you're doing? And I was like, where are you going? I was like, with no context. And so I hopped on the phone and I was like, oh yeah, I'm on my way to Chile to participate in the first moon dance. And the way that came to be in my life, as I am an Indigenous woman, I am a Barkindji woman, and I work not so much in payment, but spend a lot of time with Indigenous people from South America who now call here home. And they have spent probably the last 5 to 6 years bringing Indigenous people from all over South America to here. And I've been that bridge to connect them with the Indigenous people of these lands. So then I was invited by an Abuela to come to Chile to participate in my first moon dance, which happened in January this year. So yes, it's an honour to be here with all of you. So yeah, thank you, Jefferson, for the invitation.
Thank you. So appreciate you all being here and everyone listening. Adriana, I'd like to ask if you could just please explain, like we don't know anything about it, what is the moon dance and how does it work, and how is drums or chanting or rhythm involved, and what is, to the extent you can talk about it, what is, what are the things that are the goals of moon dance, and how does it work, and who's doing moon dance, and just so that we can get a background of it from your perspective. And then I certainly would like to hear from Carol and from Laura about their particular experiences, to the extent, again, that they can share for the benefit of our group here.
Well, and we all know a little bit of the history of the invasion of America and how the native peoples had to fight and including give their lives to protect their ways of living and some of the history wants us to believe that everything has been extinguished, and somehow a lot has been extinguished, but a lot has been kept in secret for the time of the new sun, the time of the renewal of mankind. So all this knowledge, this ancient knowledge and wisdom of all the native peoples of this continent would arise again and be um, helping humanity to reconnect to the sacredness of life. And that is a prophecy. That is in prophecy. And this is happening now. And we are part of this prophecy. And that's why the medicines of the Native American is spreading all over the world. We know that sun dances in many places, sun and moon dances in many places, ayahuasca, the medicine from the forest, the medicine from all the sacred plants of America are all over the world, and people are seeking this knowledge to reconnect. So moon dance, like just like sun dance, just like vision quest, the medicines from the forest, all these ceremonies that were protected and are being shared today to the world. I like to believe that they have the key that we are seeking to open the door of transformation that we need to go through, in order to continue living in this planet in a beautiful way. So these ceremonies have been kept by the native people, and now they are arising and they are being shared as a way of reconnecting to the spirituality. But as I said in the beginning, not spirituality as something too magical, something too unreachable sometimes, because sometimes we picture spirituality as something that is a goal that is so far from reality that we seek and we almost ambition to reach to this unknown state. And actually living these ceremonies and this native spirituality, we start reconnecting and remembering that we are spiritual beings in this body experience, in this planet. So it's a way of just bringing heaven and earth together somehow, bringing a sense of completion. Everything is already here. We just spend too much of time forgetting it. I mean, we were somehow forced to forget, and now we are remembering, and now we are reclaiming, and we are living it again. So these ceremonies, just like moon dance, it's something that these native people have kept and are sharing with us as a ways of making this connection. It's nobody saying anything to us how we should live our life and how spirituality should be lived. We enter the circle of the ceremony, and our connection is straight with the essence. There is nothing and no one in between. It's just us with the spirits, with nature, with the power of the circle, because we are immersed in the circle. So remembering that we are part of the circle of life, remembering that everything is connected, remembering that the sacredness of spirituality is here now in this body, in this life experience. So I really believe that this is a very beautiful way of living spirituality when we enter these ceremonies, these sacred circles. It's something that we don't have much what to say. We have to experience it. And I really like to be a spiritual guide in this way as an abuela, because I'm not even like, I'm not a medicine woman, I'm not a shaman, I'm not nothing. I'm just a woman that walks this path, and this serves for me. I have found the purpose of it, because I felt in my life, and I committed myself to open this space where people can come, where women can come and learn themselves, be strong enough to make this connection without me saying. And Carol can confirm, I don't say anybody what they should do, and just enter the circle and resolve yourself with your spirit, because you are responded. Over there, you find the answers to all the questions. Over there, you find the nutrition for your spirit to access this memory. It's just something that needs to be lived, and I see the results of it. I see people doing vision quests, I see people doing moon dance, and people doing sun dance, and becoming strong in their lives. And becoming strong in their lives is like making some things good of their lives, live more and more with commitment, with coherence, with trust, making the changes that are necessary, because they know this is what they need to do in order to live a more balanced life, a more coherent life, a more complete life, like sometimes people seek, I mean, they not even know what they are seeking, what is missing,
Yeah.
and sometimes nothing is missing. It's in their minds. It's because there is this connection still. And once there is connection, you find all the resources you need to complete yourself, and complete yourself is not having that which you desire sometimes, it's just acknowledging that which is already there and you already have, you know so it's like anchoring the spirit in this material world, because the sacrality of life, the sacredness of life, it's here.
Yeah,
It's here in the rise of the sun, in the rise of the moon, in the cyclicity of day and night, and how our body renew life every night, and how we every morning we are ready to be something new. So it's like, it's so simple sometimes, and we make it so complicated. So the circles are the places where people can remember that it can be simple, and it can be here now. So the ceremonies, I think they accomplish this role, of bringing all together to the center, which is our heart, like feeling again, feeling life again, you know.
yeah, I love.
Well, just to say something.
Yeah, no, that's great. It's so profound and meaningful. But in the a friend of mine who I met at Wooten Woods told me about the ceremonies that the music is the medicine. And so I'm really curious about the music and the drumming and how that works. There's something about you go a couple years in the outer circle dancing, and then you become a drummer. And how does that work? Just for somebody who doesn't know anything about really moon dance, the ceremony.
Well, we know that everything is energy, and energy pulsates, and this pulsation creates movement, and the movement creates a center where everything surrounds. And this movement always creates sound. It's so beautiful. I follow a page. I don't use Instagram very much, but I follow a page on Instagram, many of them about astronomy, like science, and it's so nice. I learned so much from it. And there is this equipment of this page there. I don't remember the name, but they capture the frequency of sound of the movements of the planets. Each planet creates a different sound by just the way they move. So movement creates sound, and sound activates the movement, keep the movement. So in our ceremonies, the sound is always present to harmonize the frequency that we are creating a harmonious movement, so we can create a spiral and connect. It's a mean of connection. So the sound of the drums, the sound of the voices all together, the sounds even during the dance of our steps on earth with the rhythm of the drum. So this repetition of sounds creates an harmony of vibration and opens the channels for connection. It's a way of opening the path for connection. We can feel that. We can feel that when the drum is beating in the center of the circle, it's guiding our steps, and we are vibrating in one same frequency, and we create a harmonious movement, order, because spirituality is about order.
Mm.
There are many people that don't know that, but spirituality needs order, needs to just bring together and align things. So the sounds of the drums, the sound of the steps, the sound of the voices all together go on creating this frequency, this path for the prayer to go.
Wow, it makes sense to me, and it sounds very profound, as I just said. Carol, can I ask you now? I mean, I think you said you've done 4 moon dances, and you in the drum next year. And could you also just give your perspective on this for people who don't know about the moon dance and how what it is? I think the women frame drummers, because that's what Layne talks about in her book, and that's what they do. They process and, but this is a ceremony that happens at the full moon, and it lasts 4 days. And what has been your experience with it, to the extent you can explain it to us?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we dance 4 nights to the moon, and with the drum and with our rhythms together, all put together, as Abuela said. And I think we only get to know just a little bit about moon dance, at least to me, after the 4 years. So that's the reason that I am again committed with more 4 years, because I feel that I understood the dance just first step on my last 4 year. Because in the first one, I was there starting this way of praying. So it is several things we have to learn about how to pray the tobacco, about the songs we chant, and about everything is happening there, and you are feeling, but still getting to know it. Mm-hmm. Of course, it is different to other women, but to me, when I was on the second year, I was with my kid, so small, with me, and at the center, and I was starting to know that my whole year after dancing was to one direction. So something I prayed there, it was happening until another year. So it is about measuring cycles with another way in your life, because you are there on that huge center with many women, and I think we are praying there not just for ourselves, right? We are praying to the whole family. We are in touch, the whole human family. So it's something that go step by step, and I feel that also pray to the moon. It's something first we can think that I was thinking at my first year that the moon wasn't hearing me because she's so big and I'm so small. So it's something that it's to me, so I can connect with the mother moon. But after those 4 years, something changed. It's like today I believe that the moon really hear what we are praying to her. You know, she's really there for us. So I think it's very personal, but yes, the way that everything is done there, about the 4 directions, about fire, about the drum, about the earth, about the waters, and everything we are thinking on those 4 nights and days. It's something so profound, which is impossible really to say in words. But in my fourth year, I was like more friend of nature, more friend of this synchronicity, and about the also about the this power of not the music as something to get up, but to also to wake up, also to vibrate, also to sending something to the universe. So, and in this way, it's many things that are done there with whole geometry, because we have a circular geometry with everything like in a circle, with a center, and everything have it's so perfect there, which is almost impossible to say. But yes, I feel that it's something to be stronger, because we can really, how can I say, create, you know, I think we are co-creating, really, we are there co-creating something together. So this moon dance, it's very special in those facts where Abuela was in Mexico with Malinali, which is our, I think, our big Abuela of the eternity. And she was there at the last year, and then she came to Brazil in the first year of pandemic, and she was able to bring this to us. And today I think there are more than I don't know, hundreds of women with magical bring to Abuela many praise to another woman, many praise to healing of nature, and there we are. So I think Abuela will have many work still because it's growing and growing, and main thing it is to not be just a part of the system and wanting more and making more and just action and action, but also respecting the whole directions and waiting and stopping and making pauses. So learning with this feminine, in the sense of that you are a dancer, that you go there once upon one whole year, and then you dance again, and then you are as a center in our lives, you know. And so that's it. Mm, it's spiritual path, mysterious. So just dance and you see. I don't know why, Abuela, if some day on the history, maybe men were there too, or no? Dancing to the moon?
Is that the sun dance with the men dancing?
Originally, Sundance was man's space to offer the blood for life, for the continuity of life, as women do on childbirth. But for some historical circumstances and time, women have been dancing for the sun too. I mean, it's majorly a man's ceremony, but women have entered for different reasons, and they are part of the sun dance too. And even though Sundance is a ceremony for men, it's totally permeated by very feminine essence. So even though it's a man's ceremony, it has very many feminine components on it. Because after all, it's a moment for men to connect to the earth, to the sacredness of life, offering their sacrifice for the continuity of life, as women naturally do. So, yeah. But Moondance, men come to support us. They haven't entered the circle yet. Who knows? In the near future, I see. I mean, we have many special men supporting us on our Moondance. They are very committed, very genuine men, very strong but sensitive men that appreciate being supporting us, and it's really beautiful to see how they are willing and open with open heart to serve to the women, so women can have this time. So just like Carol had Sandro a couple of times supporting her, taking care of their daughters so Carol can dance, bringing little Luna to the circle to breastfeed and bringing back to put to sleep, and you know how they prepare our food, how they take care of our fire and serve us. It's beautiful to see. I think even being out of the circle, it's a very strong and special medicine for the men being displaced.
Well, thank you.
Just the way it is for now.
Yeah. So Laura,
Yeah.
you live in Australia, as we call it. And how is this somehow related to Australian Aboriginal ceremony, or you just heard about it? How did you end up going to Chile, and how was I know you were in South America for quite some time, but how was your experience? How would you describe it to people who know nothing about it?
Yeah, actually, a lot of what Carol says resonates with me. And ultimately, the way that I ended up there is because country called me. And in saying that, in my culture, when we speak about country, we're speaking about country as a whole, Mother Earth. So it's all the elements. It's sky country, it's water, it's fire, it's absolutely everything. So yeah, the way I ended up there was definitely country calling me. And this is where what Carol was saying resonates a lot for me, because I was very blessed to be raised in Indigenous ways. It wasn't something that I had to learn. It's something that's in my bloodline and just the way that I've been raised. And what I found very familiar, there was many aspects of the moon dance that I found very familiar to my culture. One being dancing. And dancing just all night to that one beat. And, you know, my background is working in music. And just that reminder, it was so familiar, even though I was so far from home. I don't speak Spanish. And even though it was a whole new experience in terms of, for a better choice of words, the way it's delivered, it was still in an Indigenous way, you know, where we're always, everything is vibration, you know, everything is vibration. The sound of the river is vibration, the wind is vibration, the birds. And then to be in a space where what is really leading it is the drum, you know, that sound, that beat, because us as Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here are also drum makers. And I can't talk too much about it because I'm still again, this brings back to Indigenous ways. It's not, our ways are not a transactional thing, which the moon dance is like that as well. You can't go, I think, thinking that what you're going to receive. You're going to receive whatever the elements and country and the moon, you know, want you to receive. So it's a bit like this with my learning, which I'm only just at the start of learning about our use of the drum and our drum, the learning of the drum. Everyone's invited, like male, boys and girls, but once it gets to about 7 or 8, it then becomes women's business and the men move on to men's business. So that recently coming into my life and then being a part of the moon dance, which is led by the drum, I guess the synchronicities of all of that has just been, amazing. So it was really, I think we've all said it, it's really hard to have words for something that you feel, you know, something that, you know, is so ancient, and it is something that just pulsates through you, you know. We know all the water we have now is all the water that we'll always have. So all the memories through that, and that pulsing through you while, you know, you're under the moon, under the elements, and, you know, being led by vibration is just, it's beyond words. It's really, really beyond words. But, you know, I feel as well there's such a space for this way of being, because Indigenous ways of being is living within right way, you know, with relation. And one of the big leaders of that is dance. You look at Indigenous cultures around the world, you know, even now, if I've got my clapping sticks here, you know, we've always got something to make sound, or so, music and is, I really believe, is the answer, and is the one thing that connects us all. And to be led by that drum. And, you know, I really just also want to honor all the drummers, because the physical work to be playing a drum continuously through the night, you know, that is the power of the woman, of the drummer. And I just, really want to acknowledge every woman drummer that is a part of a moon dance, because they are holding that space. I don't know if that answered what you asked for, because as I said, it's so complex to even, you know, describe. And as Carol said, she's at the end of her 4 and she only feels like she's just learnt something. And that's Indigenous ways, you know, like I'll ask an elder something about, is the sky blue? And then I'll find out that there's a whale and that this berry grows at this time, and then that's my answer. And then 5 years later I'll find out that's connected to something with it being blue. So I think the way that I've answered it is very much answers what the moon dance really is: the deep unknown being led by country and by the sound of the drum.
Well, it just has really grabbed me in the sense of the women frame drummers did, and you know, realizing that, I mean, the human species was raised by the women, and they were the first linguists and the gardeners but also the priestesses, and they talk about in the women frame drumming community, a lot of Layne's book is focused in the Mediterranean and the Eastern Mediterranean area, and you know, all the depictions of the women with the frame drums is sort of constant, and the ceremonies to the goddesses, and the bees and the honey and the mead, and, you know, sort of those plant medicines, if you will, just seem so powerful. And when I heard about the moon dance, I thought that must have been kind of like what they were doing elsewhere. It seems like an indigenous vibrational ceremony of creation, you know, and it seems like what we need, which is why I was so anxious to have all you talk about it. So it's 4 days, and they drum all night long for 4 days, and it just seems amazing to me. And are there a lot of it is becoming, Adriana, as you said, is becoming more known now, because the indigenous people who kept this sort of secret have now been bringing it out at this time. Is that right?
Um, I wouldn't say kept as a secret. They kept to protect,
Hmm.
so it wasn't lost. Not because it's a secret,
Okay. Um,
just to protect.
and Carol, how do you what would you tell other, women who are some of these women frame drummers who haven't really heard about the moon dance? How is this an element that they may want to think about or consider, or how would they consider that?
Well, I am more and more inviting other women to be there. And I know, I think for sure that now we have two more moon dances here in Brazil opening. One in the south opened in January, and the other one it's in September or something. And of course, I am inviting a woman to be together with Abuela Adriana, but I invite women not just because now I believe and I know in my life that I now have a relationship with the moon, um, in my body, which is my feminine aspect, my cyclicity, but also because I invite and invite and invite because I see changes, and those changes are about this discipline order which this way present us. And when we see this world with technology and too many information, I think it's there where we disconnect of these technologies, and we go there, and many times we leave some discomfort there because that's a path where we have to learn practical things. And first you be learning practical things as paying attention on your things that you need, practical things, because you are there with rain, with cold or anything. So first year you are there finding yourself to be comfort, and you are many times discomfort. To me, to me it was just how can I really pray and just pray. But in shamanism we sometimes have to deal with the real life, and the real life with discomfort too. Not just singing and dancing and woohoo, but also dealing with your body, dealing with cold, dealing with time, dealing with everything it's happening. So I invite women to go there, be discomfort.
Yes.
um, and because I see, for example, I see many powerful women on churches, Santo Daime Church or many churches, and I keep thinking that I have one woman this year of Santo Daime Church, which is a little or much patriarchal. And when this woman go there, and with many other women of all parts, and she get in touch with women making strong and discomfort things on rain, on cold, on beyond, with stars, with moon, with everything that is there. And then this woman go back to the patriarchal church and then start a revolution because those women want to play other musics, other songs, other healing songs. They wanna be together. They wanna be united. They wanna be true and speak things not just because it's beautiful, but just speak the truth, simple as the truth is. And I think it is something I see that women, many as me, go there sometimes with little kids, and oh my God, why am I doing this? And then they go and go to their lives and start missing place, a natural place with where we have this huge opportunity of be one whole night with nature wherever they present us, if it is something good, nice, better, but sometimes hard is better because we are strong enough to be there. And they many times go back again because as me as go there again, oh, how much discomfort will be, but it's not discomfort, it is a training. It is being trained to I say, I don't know if you have Nutella, but I am from Nutella generation where my father bring me a Nutella every day. And then why I need to be in hard conditions or to get up a mountain and be there with no spiders and cold or anything. As Abuela say, until today, sometimes she thinks something like this. What am I doing? Oh my God. But it also pays us this strong, this willing to really be with nature, a little bit more savage, a little bit more resilient, a little bit more making everything like music as something in relationship with this. So not a performance, but a true relationship with the another woman's, the birds, or I don't know, the spirits, if you can relationship with them. So that's why I can say, to me, it's not about something zen, something agreeable. In my head, it's not. It's something that I have to be brave. I have to be stronger to go there. So because of it, that I think I have to keep on, because I have to still build this strong heart, this trust heart, and trust more in this spiritual or this natural way, which is I'm here, I born, so if I'm here, this is something that I can do. If my abuela can do, I can do. So I go there one year more, a little afraid, but excited.
So Laura, you've been nodding your head quite a bit, and it's been a few months now since you got back. I can't remember, maybe only a few weeks. How do you what are your thoughts to what Carol was saying, and how are you thinking now that you've been there for, you've been back for a little while? How is it striking?
Yeah,
What are you thinking and seeing?
my head was nodding a lot because a lot of what Carol was saying just resonates with me. So yes, you're right. I was there. I danced in January, but then I went to Brazil for 5 weeks. So yeah, I only got back mid-March. So I'm very much still in deep integration, and I think we're talking about spirituality a lot, and I use those commas, inverted commas, because a lot of what both the other women have already spoken about. People think spirituality is this beautiful thing where it's all love and light and dance. It's not. It's dirty. It's painful. You're crying. You're hurting. You're in physical pain. This, and I think with the moon dance, it brings up because everything is stripped from you. And so it's just you with the drum, with the women, which I think is really, really one thing I noticed from my personal experience was a lot of women not being in a space like that before, when we were just held, by so many women. And then you're just with the elements, and there's no time, there's no watch, there's no screen. So you're really stripped back and really shown how to be led by nature, and it is so empowering. And I think something you just said, Carol, where I was really nodding when you said, if my abuela can do it, you see all these abuelas, all these grandmothers that in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and they're the strongest women there, like when we're doing all the build and all the pre-work and the dancing of the night. And it is I think, especially in my culture, we look at our elders for everything. And something I really enjoy about the moon dance is how much it is led by the abuelas, and also, how it's led by the matriarch. So in my culture, we're a matriarchal culture. So to see that and to experience that and to just see the strength of women, and not in the societies where, women are strong, they birth, but women, we can literally do anything. And I really found in this space of the moon dance, the removal of society's way of the way we've made women to be, which is to compete and that I am better or I have something more. And it makes me emotional even thinking about it, which I think has been one of the biggest integration pieces for me, is the strength of women. And both the women here know everything that goes into us physically building the space to hold the space for us to be there, but also the strength of women, of what is possible when we are able to be women, because we are naturally dancers and caretakers, and we're so much a part of community, which is not how patriarchal culture teaches us to be. It teaches us to compete from each other. So to be in those space, and again, I just acknowledge those are women drummers again. It's just such an empowering space to be. And I think for me as well, one of the biggest pieces was because it was so familiar for me because of my culture, but it was so I don't know what the word is to articulate it, because I don't think there is a word. It's beautiful, but way bigger than beautiful. To see all these other women crack open and experience not just the Indigenous ways, but to experience the power of women. It's hence to all my nodding, because I'm just agreeing with everything that Carol has said. Because again, as well, you think, wow, why do I do this to myself? This is not easy. It's not a 5-star hotel with a spa, and this is really, really challenging work. And the only tools that you have to get yourself through it is yourself. Is your mind, is your it is so many things we don't have, in society today. We can turn off, or we can pick up our phone, or, we can call our best friend. But in this situation, you've got your women, but really all you've got is the sound of that drum, the light of the moon, the fire, all the elements. And that is what you've got to work with. And it's just such an empowering, enlightening. I don't feel like I need a thesaurus for all the words to explain just how powerful it is. And also just to talk about the men as well. I think it's really beautiful because I participate in many other ceremonies with Indigenous people from South America, and to have the men there as a support group is something else that I think is so empowering, because these men are so strong, you know, the physical strength and also the mental strength to hold that space for us, but so vulnerable and so gentle. And it's such a beautiful thing to witness, to see the dance of the masculine and feminine in both the men and the women, and how that, you know, just the dance of all of that, because that's what it is. It's the moon dance and it's the dance. I even notice my hands just naturally doing this. Just the flow of all of that. It's just, it's something that can heal, you know, every person. Heal the world, the power of music, right?
I mean, I got inspired to work with this Planetary Gig Society, and Tara Gorman, I think, may be on, and she was one of the co-founders, the Goddess of Awesomeness. And it's because I was inspired by Victor Wooten's book, The Music Lesson, Understanding the Power of Music. One of my goals is peace for the planet, peace of mind for myself, peace for the planet. Well, how do you get there? And when I learned more about music, I thought, oh my gosh, this is a path to peace. If you talk to people about, well, we're trying to bring peace to the world, they say, good luck with that. Like, it's never going to happen. But if you say, well, you know, we're working on some things about peace through music, they go, oh, that's very good. And so when I heard, and I've learned so much doing this, but when I heard about when the drummers were women, and when I heard about the moon dance, I thought, this is like music on steroids. This is a path to peace on steroids. There's an Inuit elder, Native American from up in North America toward Alaska, Ilian McCurliffe. I'm probably not pronouncing his name correctly, but he talks about, you know, there's been the patriarchy and matriarchy over the years, and it shifts and balance. But right now, we're in a patriarchal stage. But he says nothing new will come until the women figure it out and decide and bring it. He calls it the womb at the center of the universe. And so for me, music plus this power of women, which obviously go together, let's talk about this. Let's have conversations about this. So we've been talking quite a while. I know it's been a bit, but let me see if anybody who is in the Zoom wants to ask a question or make a point. I'm just also fascinated about the drumming for hours, and that must be 8 hours of drumming through the night, 4 nights in a row, no matter what the weather, right? I mean, this is heavy duty percussion, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anybody have any questions or any other comments, Carol or Adriana, you want to make? I know Michael's there. I saw Roy Wooten come in. If you have any you know, any thoughts?
It's really nice to hear you saying what this Inuit person said. You know, like this, if we have any hope of reorganizing, reharmonizing the way we live on Earth, this is going to be through the women. And not really, I think, through women only, but through the feminine essence in all of us, also in men. Because this feminine essence is the one that recognizes that life is sacred, that we should take care of each other. This is the side of us that is compassionate, that is caring, that is loving, that takes care of. And life just needs to be taken care of. Our relations need to be taken care of, recognized, honored. So I think more in this way, like the arisal of the feminine energy that has been suppressed for so many generations, is just bringing back into balance. I don't believe that the future is matriarchal, neither, because that would be unbalanced again, just how to arise that what this which has been suppressed so it can harmonize and balance with the other side of us. There is something really beautiful about the Mexica way of thinking and cosmogony. Everything is in duality. I mean, we might recognize fire as masculine energy, water as feminine energy. And yes, we do. But we also recognize that both have masculine and feminine energy. There is a feminine side in water, but there is also a masculine side in water. So everything that has been created since the beginning of time, it's so good, so beautiful, reaching the story of creation. Everything is created in duality, in balance. And we have unbalanced that in our life. It's just a matter of bringing back into balance, both walking together, the sacred duality walking together. That's the main thing. And this seems to me easier than I was told that it was, it's not that complicated,
Hmm.
Maybe we were told that it's too difficult, so we can believe that it's unreachable, But yes, it is, you know. So the feminine essence is the one that feels with the heart, not knows with the heart, not with the mind. That's what we need, Feel again, feel that we are part of, that we need to take care of, that we need to embrace all, like this feeling of compassion, first for ourselves, and and recognize the time of things are not the time that we were told, everything is too accelerated. And the feminine essence knows the timing of things, the cyclicity of things, We hold a child for 9 months in our bodies, and we have to wait for the time to come, So it's like this acceptance that there are time for things to happen, and life is cyclic, there is no need to rush, it's like slow the pace a little bit so we can feel more, we can be more present, so it's like the just balancing this out. And this is all in us. Yeah, this is nothing that we need to learn. This is what we are. We need just to remember and live it. And it is simple. It can be simple.
Is it?
And I think everything that we are doing, as what you have been dedicating, music is something that opens our heart, that opens us to feel again. And this is part of it, like accessing this feminine essence that contemplates, finds beauty, acknowledge, honors. So it's like music, it's a way of opening the heart. We need to move from here to here. And music can do that, open our hearts so we can start feeling again. And once we open our hearts and we feel, everything flows.
Wow, that's good. I was just about to ask you, what do you what can musicians do in playing to maybe have a more profound impact, or to be able to, I don't know, help society more living on the planet? It sounds like have an open heart when you're playing, but any other thoughts about it, Carol or Laura or anybody online want to talk about that?
yeah, I would love to say to share your music. There is, as I said, I have a background in music and I work in music, and there is so many talented musicians around this planet, so many talented musicians, and a lot that don't have access to technology or social media, or just in a way, to share. So I think if you are a musician, don't be shy, share your music, get it out there. And also, if you know young ones, old ones, people in your community that have got that talent, support them in any way that you can. If it's because you've got an old guitar and it just needs a guitar string changed, or it might be like, a beautiful Abuela who's got this beautiful voice, but would have no idea how to set up, an iPhone in front of a tripod. Let's find a way to just continue, because to share music as much as what we can, because, it is, rhythm is life, dance is life, music is life. And I think if we can all find a way to support music as well, and also to really support music in a way of buying concert tickets and things like that. And that's definitely getting more into, the capitalist side of the world. But that's how we keep music alive, is we need to support musicians. If you have friends that are a musician and they're doing a show, don't ask for a free ticket, buy a ticket. Get out there and just support music in any way that you can. And if you have a talent that you can play or sing, just share it with the world, because it's what we all need.
Well, that's beautiful. Perfect. Well said. Carol?
Yeah, I think I just make music because I am not a musician, because I swear that every time that I sing or that I play, it's something that I'm not repeating a musical technique. I'm not performing a technique. I am making what I can do. I am doing what I can do, reading and perceiving what's happening, and finding the message, the intention I have there. And so I'm not singing, I am more praying than singing, because before I thought that I am not such a musician as Sandro is, for example. I'm just a prayer. So now I can sing because I have a purpose there. So I think it's maybe it's also the reason that Abuela said that she is not a musician, but she teach us, she build drums, she sings, because she is there with a purpose, not just making again the same music, like reproducing the music. And the massive society is reproducing passion, shamanism, everything we are reproducing. So I have to say that since I am a millennial woman, I was born in a hospital with food I eat from industrial, that food made like this. So of course, if I will sing to be approved, because everybody have to be approved. They have to sing well with the Occidental music system. But music is not something industrial. Music is to feel your body, to find your own notes, to listen to the beats of your heart, to find some dance that your body is really needing to do in this sound. So I think the best thing to be with your heart is to breathe with your conscience, to stay with your conscience, to move with your conscience, and try not to reproduce anything. Just be there and be brave.
Be in the moment.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay, well, we've been going on a little while. If anybody in the audience has anything they want to add, or just if either Adriana or Carol or Laura has anything else final to say. But I really appreciate your taking the time. This really helped just, understanding this little bit, as Carol says, about the moon dance is helpful. And the more we can talk about these things, this is part of what we do, talk about them so that more people will know and appreciate and understand that we can make a difference, and we can certainly make a difference through music and dance. And what you all are doing is really important for the world. We need it really quickly. If you could have like a lot more moon dances really fast, like in the next year before, that'd be great. Just kidding. But anyway, I think we, it's really important. So thank you for sharing with us.
Yeah.
Thank you for this space. Nice meeting you.
Yes, thank you for the invitation and to be in this space with all of you and everyone watching as well. It's a deep, deep honor.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, appreciate it. Say namaste to everybody, and we'll see you on the next time around. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night. Have a good day, you.
Ciao. Yes, good evening to you. Good day to me.
Yes, thank you.